A pleasant good evening and welcome to Memorial Gymnasium here in Charlottesville, Virginia for tonight's ACC matchup in women's volleyball between the visiting 10-13 Duke Blue Devils and the 9-14 University of Virginia Cavaliers. Allison Gaskins with you here for the broadcast on ACC Network Extra. And both programs looking to work their way up in the ACC rankings. Currently, the Cavaliers sit in that 15th spot out of the total 15 teams, so ranked last in the conference at the moment, and Duke not much higher in that 10th position, so both teams looking to get a win in this match tonight. Cavaliers starting off a 4-match homestand, and that's essential in this matchup just because, well, on the season, they've had more success at home, 6 wins, 5 losses here inside Memorial Gymnasium, and they're 0-8 while playing away from home. On the other hand, for Duke, they're coming off 2 straight conference victories against Wake Forest and Virginia Tech, so they want to keep that momentum going here tonight in Charlottesville. We'll take a quick look at the starting lineup for both rosters, beginning with the visiting Blue Devils. The libero will be Mackenzie Cole. In the lineup, Lily Cooper, Gracie Johnson, Addie Owokaniran, Peyton Schwantz, Sarah Nelson, and Lizzie Fleming. Nelson will be the setter, and for the Cavaliers, their libero, Alex Spencer. In the lineup, Jana Francis, Maddie Bolston, Mila Cyprian, Madison Matthews, Jennifer Weinholt, and Sarah Billiard. As both teams get set to start off this match. Last time these two teams played was back in 2018. Duke took it in 3 sets, and well, Duke has actually won the last 5 meetings between these two programs. The Cavaliers will be looking to put an end to that run. Cavaliers also looking to put an end to their 8-match losing streak that they're currently in. But talking to head coach Aaron Smith in his 3rd season for the Cavaliers, he said, "We still have so much belief and so much enthusiasm. So we know that we have an opportunity as that becomes a service ace to get things started for Duke. But we have so much opportunity to continue to improve before the season is over." So the Cavaliers keeping that positive mentality. Peyton Schwantz on the serve, this time dug up by Spencer. A big hit. Just too wide for Sarah Billiard. Billiard's been outstanding though, preseason All-ACC honoree. The junior from Matthews, North Carolina, averages over 2.5 kills per set for UVA. Good up by Schwantz. Nice back and forth, long rally between the two. That's always good to see early on in a volleyball match. Find that rhythm as that ball just clips inside. Say it went off the fingertips of the Blue Devils. So point Virginia, and they will side out. So the serve with Mila Cyprian, sophomore from St. John's, Florida. Big serve to the far right side and doesn't stay in, so point and serve back over to Duke. Now at the line, Mackenzie Cole, the libero, who's currently ranked 6th in the conference in digs per set. Outstanding sophomore athlete. Cavaliers handling that serve receive well. And a huge smackdown from Addie Owokaniran, a sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina, and she has been leading the way offensively for Duke this season, averaging nearly 3.5 kills per set, hitting at 219, a consistent contributor all season long. That serve into the net and down from Mackenzie Cole. So a serve error, and the ball goes back now to UVA. Jen Weinholt getting the serve. Weinholt, an athlete who head coach Aaron Smith says is just rock solid in her leadership abilities. One of the seniors on the roster, one of the 4 seniors for the Cavaliers. Awesome save there by Spencer. It'll be a free ball over for Novakovic. A joust at the net. Duke coming out. Rather, UVA coming out with the point. Shut down solo block for Madison Matthews, the freshman, the ball of energy for UVA. Her 8th solo block of the season. And on those solo blocks, it really comes down to the positioning. Matthews had it locked in. Here's Matthews again into open space. Back-to-back points for Madison Matthews. Matthews, an athlete who in ACC play this season has been hitting .376, super efficient in her production. Service error for the Cavaliers, so side out goes to Duke. Couple substitutions working in rotation. Coming in for the Blue Devils, Alex Springate. She'll come in to serve. The sophomore from Allen, Texas, has 2 service aces on the season, 7 service errors. But she's one of the setters that will work in rotation for Duke this match. And Duke is led by head coach Jolene Nagel in her 21st season. Well-respected coach in the NCAA as well as in the ACC. 4-time ACC Coach of the Year. 4 ACC championships with the Blue Devils, as that kill is good for Samantha Amiss. But Jolene Nagel, the head coach of Duke, longest tenured coach and winningest coach for Duke, for the Duke volleyball program. She's also coached at Cornell and Georgetown, so a lot of experience coming in to the ACC. And on the other hand, for the Cavaliers, their head coach Aaron Smith is in his 3rd season. He has been with the Cavaliers for a total of 8. That serve goes wide, so again, just switching serves back and forth between the 2 programs right now. But head coach Aaron Smith has been with the Cavaliers for a total of 8 seasons. Again, just his 3rd year as the head coach, but he's a native of Richmond, Virginia, played at Penn State, played a year professionally in Spain. As Jelena Novakovic was looking for the kill, and she gets it. So point Cavaliers, and we are all tied up at 7 apiece here in the first set. And again, each set, 1st to 25, you have to win by 2. Point going to Duke in that last rally. Big serve. Save attempt by Megan Wilson, no good. Trying to reach outside her body line, trying to do anything she could to kind of keep that ball in play. Just couldn't get it to redirect inside the court. Another serve here from Fleming. Nice setup by Alex Spencer to help out Jana Francis for that kill. Really good connection between the two, and I love that set. The second touch from Spencer from the libero, so working out of system but did a good job making that play happen. Novakovic, the southpaw, to serve into the net. Novakovic leads the ACC in service aces per set, over a half per set on average this season, a total of 39 service aces. Here's Sarah Nelson. 16 service aces for Nelson on the year. Received well by Leyland. Outside, big attempt denied by Duke. A good up by Spencer. Francis again trying to get the off-speed touch over on 2. Block denies the Duke attempt, and that one goes into the net. Couldn't clear the tape, so point to Virginia. It seemed like Duke was just thrown out of system in that last rally, just scrambling to kind of keep the ball alive, and Olukaniran just couldn't get enough behind it to clear the net. So again, we'll have Jana Francis serving, dead center of the court, pushes it back. Spencer outside to Weinholt. That time, ball goes into the block and out of bounds, so point to Duke. That's where the positioning and the timing of the block become so essential. You have to keep your hands positioned into the court. You want to reach tall, not leave any room for the deflection out of bounds. As we get ready for a serve from Peyton Schwantz, the junior from Frisco, Texas. A cannon of a shot there from Kristen Leyland. A sophomore from Dallas, Texas. Only 1 kill on the season, so that was just her second kill. In and off the block again. Virginia just leaving a little bit of room between the block and the net. You want to push into the net, make that gap as small as possible to avoid any mistakes in that block to where you lose the point. Cold serve. Weinholt with a big swing. Bolston again back out to Billiard. And Billiard getting everything behind that one, a big swing. Billiard now leading the way for UVA with 4 kills. Weinholt to serve. Billiard again with the off-speed touch this time. Duke read it. They try to counterattack, and it's good. Point going to Gracie Johnson, the freshman for Virginia Beach, Virginia. One of the 4 freshmen on the roster for Duke this season, a big contributor. There's 3 freshmen that have been outstanding this 2019 season, their rookie year, and Gracie Johnson, one of them. Now here's Alex Springate. Good serve. Billiard denied by the block. Blue Devils, a team that have found that success in the blocks this season. They're 6th in the ACC, averaging just under 2.5 blocks per set. Novakovic with a powerful swing. Spencer again to Novakovic. There's the back row. The over on 2 touch from Springgate gives the Blue Devils a point. So Duke climbing to a 4-point lead here, looking to build. That serve out and wide to the left side. That was a good side out for the Cavaliers before Duke strung together a series of points. Serve, though, by Billiard goes right into the net. A couple of service errors on both sides to start off this first set. That happens sometimes, again, a big conference game, some jitters, some adrenaline that you're working with as Johnson gets set to serve. A little ping-ponging, and Cavaliers couldn't keep it alive. So point back over to Duke. Duke now up by 5, and we'll take a timeout. But during this timeout, we'll keep it here. We'll look at the history briefly between these two programs. It all started back in 1982. That was the first meeting between the two, and since then, UVA has won 13 times compared to 53 Duke wins. Duke, again, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, won most recently back in 2018. They've also won the last 5 consecutive matchups between the Cavaliers. And the last UVA win was back in 2015, and that was a 4-setter at Duke. So the Cavaliers definitely want to put an end to that tonight here at home, where they have done a decent job all season long protecting their home court. Again, 6-5 here inside Memorial Gymnasium. And the Cavaliers have had a pretty difficult schedule the last month or so. Out of their last 8 matches played, 6 of those were on the road. But thankfully for UVA, they get to start that 4-match homestand here tonight. So the next 3 will be here inside Memorial Gymnasium, which is nice because then you get to stay at home, sleep in your own bed. You're comfortable with the court. As the timeout comes to an end, athletes re-enter the court. Duke up 17-12 over Virginia. On the service line, Gracie Johnson for Duke. Johnson already with 2 kills on 3 attempts. Novakovic just over the block. Perfect timing for Jelena Novakovic. Novakovic looking so good in that touch. She read the block. She timed it just perfectly to arch it over the top of the block into the open space behind. Really good serve there by Alex Spencer. But a powerful swing will shut it down. That was Peyton Schwantz for Duke. Athlete who led her team last year in kills per set, and total attacks. Another service error, though, for the Blue Devils. And again at the service line, Novakovic, the athlete who leads everyone in the ACC in service aces. Good save. Francis, big denied by Lily Cooper. Cooper standing at 6'5" tall. Had that height advantage and good placement of the hands for the block. Last year, Cooper was 10th in the ACC with 116 blocks, and she's already got 98 this 2019 season. Now serving Sarah Nelson. Weinhold off the block. Who's got some fingertips on the Duke side, so serve with the Cavaliers and in the hands of Jana Francis, the freshman again from Virginia Beach. Big block for UVA, and that was a combination of Weinhold and Cyprian together, side by side. An easy over by Weinhold. Another block, this time plays out of bounds, so point to Duke. The same combination of players, Weinhold and Cyprian, on the block for UVA. Nice diving save there by Mackenzie Cole. Good recovery for the Blue Devils. Quick reflexes keeping the rally alive, but it eventually finds its way out of bounds and point UVA. So Virginia closing it to a 3-point gap here in the later part of the first set. Duke up 20-17 over Virginia. Here's Cyprian. Serve out the back line. UVA now with a total of 6 service errors. Duke with 3 service errors. Both teams will be looking to clean up that game in the second set, as that kill is good for Madison Matthews. Ball played off the rafters up top, but quick reflexes by Matthews to send it over. And through the block, breaking through it, Adio Owokoniran. Owokoniran, an athlete who has had double-digit kills in all but 3 matches played this season. Now, at one point, she had to sit out 5 games, and that was in the first half of the year. But through all games played, only 3 games not reaching double-digit kills. Great efficiency, great production from the sophomore. A free ball over. Nice up by Spencer with the platforms. Great save, that time by Megan Wilson. Really good rally, showing off a lot of athleticism on both sides. Another good save, that time by Mackenzie Cole for Duke. And eventually Duke will finish it off from the hands of Samantha Amiss, getting that final touch. Another timeout called as Duke is up 23-18 over the Cavaliers here inside Memorial Gymnasium. leading the way right now for Duke, a combination of two athletes, both with 3 kills. It's been a pretty good spread of attack, but with 3 kills, you have Peyton Schwantz and Addie Owakniron. And for the Cavaliers, when you take a look at who leads UVA in kills, it's Jelena Novakovic with 4, and right behind her, Sarah Billiard with 3. Both teams hitting at a pretty good percentage through this first set of play so far. Duke at a .265 hitting percentage, Virginia at .250. And anywhere in the high 200s, low 300s is where you want to be in a match. And if you can take a look just inside both huddles, head coach Jolene Nagel very vocal on the Duke side, and Aaron Smith for UVA more composed in his delivery during that last time out. Really good energy though tonight. Big crowd here inside the Memorial Gymnasium. Duke with the serve. Again, it's Alex Springate. Billiard with a huge kill. And that one was a heater cross court. Billiard preseason all ACC. She led the team last year in kills. And she's been consistent this season as well. Off the block, kill is good for Samantha Amiss. So Samantha Amiss now with 3 kills for the Blue Devils. Novakovic, powerful swing, comes right back to her. She gets a second chance. Matthews with a missed hit. And that was set point for the Blue Devils. So Duke taking set 1, 25-19 over UVA here in Charlottesville, Virginia. We'll step aside just briefly and rejoin for set 2 here on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back here to Charlottesville, Virginia. Allison Gaskins with you here on ACC Network Extra. And the first set went to the Blue Devils of Duke, 25-19 over the Cavaliers. And It was a combination of athletes who got the job done for Duke. 3 kills for Gracie Johnson, Addie Owokaniran, and Peyton Schwantz. So the Blue Devils putting on a show in that first set. Cavaliers looking to come back here in the second. Cavaliers doing a really good job, though. They had 2 athletes with 4 kills in that first set. Jelena Novakovic and Sarah Billiard, both with 4 apiece. Take a look at a couple of the other stats. Duke hit at 306 in that first set compared to Virginia, not far behind at 256. Really good hitting percentage, well above the season average for both programs in that first set. We had 1 service ace from Duke, and that's what started off the match. Virginia, no service aces, but a handful of errors, 6 service errors for the Cavaliers through that first set, an area that they will definitely be looking to clean up here in the second set. As for blocks, Virginia had a total of 3 blocks in the first set, Duke just 2. But again, the Duke Blue Devils up 1-0 here inside Memorial Gymnasium. As we get set for set 2. And Cavaliers have had a bit of a difficult season so far, plagued a bit by injury, losing 2 of their starting athletes. Their libero, Kelsey Miller, not playing. She hasn't played since the FSU game, the Florida State match. But at the time, she was leading the ACC in digs per set, so really difficult to not have her. But Alex Spencer has done a really good job stepping up the junior from North Canton, Ohio, into that libero position and taking on that role since then. Duke up already 1-0, but Cavaliers answer back with a kill by Sarah Billiard through the block. She's able to split through the hands of the block on the Duke side. Mila Cyprian to serve. Gorgeous ball, just wide. Just long out that back line. That's that serve area of focus for UVA. 7th service error now of this match. Billiard with an attempt. Gets a fingertip on it. Sarah Billiard doing a really good job in this match so far. They mentioned she led the team a season ago in kills. Averages over 2.5 per set this season. Weinholt to serve. Powerful swing and kill for Gracie Johnson. We mentioned Gracie Johnson with 3 kills in set 1. One of those freshmen we mentioned at the top of the broadcast who has become a contributor in her rookie year. Novakovic into the block, gets the deflection in her favor. It was a good set by Megan Wilson to help Novakovic out on that last kill. Wilson setting up Novakovic on the far side, on this near side rather, instead. Switching up the attack. Again, Duke with the serve. Gracie Johnson. Matthews in the middle. Back row attack from Johnson. Nice attempt, though, and diving save attempt by Alex Springate, but couldn't keep it in play, so point Virginia. All tied up at 4 here to start off set 2. Nice short, quick set, and good connection between Springate and Lizzie Fleming. The two of them connecting really well for Duke. Fleming with the serve. Wilson out to Francis, and she kills it. Dana Francis right off the vertical for that one. Nice placement, though, in the set coming from Megan Wilson. Novakovic into the net. Maddie Boylston back in, freshman setter. An athlete who has a natural touch on the ball, according to her head coach, Aaron Smith. Which is exactly what you want to see from the setter, you know, the quarterback of the offense. Kill for Addie Awokaniron. Again, into the block. So much power behind those swings, though. She reaches tall and she just pushes the ball straight into the block. Cavaliers couldn't pick up the scraps on that one. Point Duke. Duke now climbing to a 3-point lead, 8-5 over UVA. Good pushover by Weinholt. Leyland keeps it in play for the Cavaliers. She'll send it over. Diving pancake save. Good attempt by Kristen Leyland, but timeout called. Duke up 9-5 over the Cavaliers. And for the Cavaliers, we've mentioned a bit of their struggles, especially in conference play. 1-9 in the ACC right now on an 8-match losing streak. But talking to head coach Aaron Smith, he really stressed how this team has still a ton of optimism. They really are ready to improve on the rest of this season. They see it as an opportunity to prepare themselves for next season. It's something that they believe in themselves. Again, they know they've been plagued by injury, but they're ready to get back out there and give it all they have. And one of the biggest things that head coach Aaron Smith thinks that the team needs to work on is that they just need to work on building that confidence. You know, this is a program that has struggled in recent years, even before Aaron Smith took over as head coach. So they don't necessarily have that winning mentality built into their program. So it's something that they're trying to learn, and that comes with toughness, finding that toughness, having confidence, and not doubting yourself when you find yourself in those tough positions, those tough moments. So when you're able to string together a run of points, keep that belief up. Don't start doubting yourself. And when you're behind or when you find yourself making mistake after mistake, learning how to find that toughness to rebound. So the two words for Aaron Smith recently in practice to his Cavalier athletes is toughness and confidence. That's the focus for UVA in this matchup against Duke. As we break from timeout, Service still with Duke. Again, after they won that last point off an error from UVA. Bolston out to Francis. Into the block and back. So point to the Blue Devils. Big attack from Jennifer Weinholt. And I love the transition she's made from that setter position where she started off the season rotating in and out as one of the setters, but she's transitioned into one of the front row attackers. And I love watching the confidence that the senior from San Diego, California plays with. As Francis sends it into play. Good up by Spencer. But just too close to the net. Cavaliers couldn't make anything out of it. So just a little too tight to the net. And point with Duke. So the Blue Devils now 11-6 here in set 2. But another service error will give the ball back to the Cavaliers. Mila Cyprian on it. Cyprian 8th in the ACC in hitting percentage on the season. Hitting above 300. And she gets a service ace. Her 18th service ace of the year. Cyprian staying on the service line. She would love to repeat that. Another good serve. That one, however, out the back line. It looked like it could have been pretty close to that back line, but just maybe about an inch out. So service error following her service ace. Mackenzie Cole with the ball. First touch couldn't control the ball on the side of UVA. So again, Duke maintains the serve. Duke not much better than the Cavaliers in terms of ACC play. They're in the bottom half, again ranked 10th right now out of the 15 programs. 3-7 in conference on the year, and their 3 wins coming from the 11th, 12th, and 13th ranked teams at the moment. So that's Syracuse, Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech. As that one sails out the back row. A little too much behind the kill, so again, another side out for Virginia. Touch by Spencer, sends it over the net, and it was an easy picking for Duke. Duke up by 4. Again, the Blue Devils already taking set 1, 25-19 over Virginia. Billiard with a kill. Billiard now with 7 kills in this match, leading the way for the Cavaliers. Hitting at .333. Impressive efficiency from the junior outside hitter. Leyland sends the ball in. Novakovic with a nice set by Wilson. That's where Novakovic really capitalizes on those kind of 3-2 balls. So set between the center of the net and the pin on that right side. Bit of a miscommunication for Virginia. Couldn't keep the ball in play. So Duke climbs up to a 16-12 lead over the Hoos. Wilson to Cyprian right down the middle. Finding that open seam, getting a lot of velocity behind her. Novakovic on the serve. Nice serve received though by Duke. And UVA capitalizes on it. Gets up close and personal to the net to tip it over. Peyton Schwantz on that kill. Just nails one to the far side. Peyton Schwantz now with 6 kills, leading the way for the Blue Devils. Bit of a wonky first touch, but Cavaliers recover. Mackenzie Cole with a touch, and then Duke trying to get something behind it. Block. And then down for the Blue Devils. Wilkaniron and Lily Cooper getting credit for that block. So another timeout called. Coaches able to regroup with their athletes. So we'll take a quick look at how the stats are shaping up right now. Here in the second set. Duke hitting at an impressive 500. Virginia also improving from set 1, hitting 316. Still, there have been, however, some service errors here in the second set. 3 Duke service errors and 2 Virginia service errors. And that can kind of break up the tempo and the pace of the match. When you have those mistakes at the service line and you're passing the ball back over to the other team and a side out, it breaks up the rhythm of the momentum a bit. We briefly mentioned the head coaches for both squads, and Jolene Nagel, assisted by associate head coach Patrick Santiago in his first season, coming over after a very successful stint as the head coach of Iona College, and that's a team that's in the MAC, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Also assisted by Kelly Katanach in her first season, and this is an athlete who makes a return to Duke. She was a 2-year captain for the Blue Devils, 4-time All-ACC accolades, and well, she was the 2010 ACC Player of the Year as well. So a lot of experience this season, new experience to the Duke sideline and the coaching staff. On the other hand, Aaron Smith, assisted by Nikki Daly in her second year, Joe Klein and Joe Portland. The other two, the Joes, Joe Klein and Joe Portland, both in their first season. Nikki Daly in her second. As that point goes to Duke. Duke up 19-14 now, here in the second set. Weinholt with a sharp angle on that attempt. Into the block, and it's good for Cyprian and Francis. Really good placement on that last block. Lily Cooper with the kill. UVA scrambling a bit. But they keep it alive. And over on 2, red by UVA. Again, kept alive. What a good hustle. Oh, Kaniron had too much of it, and she put an end to that rally. Kaniron, part of the All-ACC freshman team a season ago. Finished third on the team with just under 3 kills per set. That attempt by Cyprian goes out wide. So Duke now up to a 7-point lead. Chino Anuquam rotating in for the Cavaliers. Boylston outside to Weinholt. Denied. Boylston again this time over to Billiard. Again. Front line strong, rock solid for the Blue Devils. Duke now just 1 point away from set point. Weinholt finds open space, a seam down that far left side, going cross-body for the kill. Matthews, quick hands over the top, off the vertical. Gracie Johnson finding the fingertips on the other side, gets a kill. And a lot of credit goes out to the setter, Sarah Nelson, the redshirt junior from Los Gatos, California. She has been placing the ball into excellent positions to help her hitters get the most out of those opportunities. A good up there by Schwantz. And down the net, kind of tiptoeing the top of the net, finishes off set 2 for Duke. So Duke taking set 1 at 25-19 over UVA, and then set 2 25-17 over the Cavaliers. So Duke up 2-0 going into this break, but stick around. We'll come back about a minute before the third set is underway to go over some stats and some highlights, some action from the first 2 sets. Allison Gasson's with you here on ACC Network Extra. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
VirginiaSports.com, or pick up a poster of the marketing card by the main entrance to the gym. Go Hoos! All right, Wanda fans, turn your attention to Who Vision for tonight's Serbian Word, brought to you by Milana Lobovic.
Hey Volleyball fans, I'm Yelena, and the Serbian word of the week is odrika, which means volleyball.
Welcome back to Memorial Gymnasium here on the campus of the University of Virginia. Allison Gaskins with you on ACC Network Extra, and it's the Blue Devils who have taken sets 1 and 2 over the Cavaliers, winning the first one 25-19 and set 2 25-17, and it has been behind a full team effort for the Blue Devils, and leading the way in that effort was Addie Owokaniran with 8 kills. Really good showing so far from Duke, and the Cavaliers not a bad showing either. Through the first 2 sets, UVA hitting at 232 compared to the Blue Devils at 387. Both teams, however, had made some mistakes on the service line. 5 service errors for Duke, 9 for the Cavaliers, but another stat that kind of stands out is they're even in the blocks right now. 4 blocks for Duke, 5 for the Cavaliers, so the effort has been there. A really clean game for both programs. Neither team making a lot of mistakes. The biggest area of mistakes is on that service line, as we mentioned. But other than that, both teams doing an incredible job staying composed, finding the runs, stringing together points, and putting on a good show here inside Memorial Gymnasium. As we get set for set 3, Cavaliers need to win this set to keep this match alive. Again, Cavaliers on an 8-match losing streak, trying to put an end to it, while Duke, on the other hand, on a 2-match winning streak, looking to continue. So both teams getting ready for set 3 here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Ball starts with the Blue Devils in the hands of Sarah Nelson. Sarah Nelson with 14 assists. And the first kill goes to UVA. Sarah Billiard. And for Billiard, that's her 8th kill of the match. Nice set. Weinholt looking for the far back court. Awokaniran, another kill, so 1 kill away now for Addie Awokaniran for Duke from double-digit kills once again. Peyton Schwantz, a high floater serve, landed short, mistimed between Cyprian and Boylston. Another service error. Side out Cavaliers.
Serving number 16, Jill Weinholt.
Nice pushover attempt for Cooper. But another kill for none other than Awokaniran. Awokaniran now with 10 through this match. Strong attempt for Novakovic as it's played with on the Duke side and sent over. Novakovic into the block and point Virginia. Good approach to the ball there from Novakovic. Ball deflects out of bounds off the UVA block. Cyprian, powerful kill. Picked up though. Spencer keeps it alive for UVA. Duke scrambling and they manage to send it over. Cyprian again with a big swing. Another over on 2 trick from Megan Wilson. Perfect dump shot from the setter, Megan Wilson. That dump shot worked so well because she read the pace of that rally and she threw it off, froze up the defense for Duke, and an error on the Duke side results in another UVA point. So the Cavaliers building a bit of momentum here in the third set. Up by 1, 5-4 over the Blue Devils, and Cyprian at the line. Good serve. Over on 2 again. Schwantz with a back row kill. another serve into the net. Time for Novakovic. Kill for Samantha, a miss. Jen Weinholt adding another for the Cavaliers. And this set has been really exciting so far. A lot of back and forth, exchanging points between one another. Good effort on both sides. A miss pressed it over, but Cavaliers kept it up. Mackenzie Cole underneath that one. And a big slam down. Attempt from Lily Cooper, but what an effort in that rally by the Cavaliers. Just when it looked like they didn't have a chance to keep the ball alive, they managed to send it back over and get a point. Nice set to that far pin and good capitalization from Peyton Schwantz. In and off the block. Point again for Weinholt. So Weinholt getting a hot hand here in the third set. Now with a total of 6 kills in this match. Billiard looking to add. Gets denied. Weinholt sends it over. Quick outside set. Duke calling fingertips, and they get it. And the last play will be under review. So a little break for both teams to regroup here. And some of the calls that can be reviewed as part of the challenge review system in NCAA volleyball is a ball ruled in or out, which I believe is what they're looking for. A ball contacting a player, net fault by a player, service foot fault, and an illegal back row attack. So while the refs take a glance at that last play to decide if they want to continue to give the point to Duke or not, we'll briefly look at what's coming up for both programs. So for UVA, again, they are starting off that 4-game homestand here tonight. Up next, they will host Wake Forest on Sunday. That'll be at 2:30 p.m. Game also being played here on ACC Network Extra. And for Duke, well, their schedule doesn't get easier after this as they take on the number 2 team in the nation, the Pittsburgh Panthers, Sunday at noon. And they're playing at Pitt, and that will be a very difficult match for Duke to take on. So it's important for them that they build confidence and go into that match with a 3-match winning streak. After that, though, Duke will be at home for their next 3 conference matches. Well, that's something to look forward to for the Blue Devils. And that Pitt team has been outstanding. We mentioned number 2 ranked team in the country at the moment. Undefeated in conference play. They're 10-0 in the ACC and only 1 loss on the season, 21-1 overall. Cyprian with the block. And a quick drop over from Gracie Johnson for the Duke point. Gracie Johnson now with 8 kills. And the last play will also be under review once again. Refs just want to make sure they're getting everything right. So the refs called a point to Gracie Johnson, which would be her 8th of the match. And that point tied everything up at 9 apiece here in the 3rd set. So we'll see if it's reversed or not. Well, a lot of action happening tonight on the campus of the University of Virginia. Just a quick walk away over at Klockner Stadium. The number 4 ranked UVA men's soccer team closes out their regular season, their senior night match here at home against UNC Chapel Hill. The men's team having an outstanding season. Overall, they're 13-1-1. And in the ACC, they're 5-1-1. But again, 4th ranked team in the nation, having an outstanding 2019 season. That game also can be watched on ACC Network. There's Boylston out to Billiard. A big up, keep it in play by Schwantz. Billiard again. Schwantz keeps it up. Billiard again. But just too wide. Goes out the back line. So point Duke. Back-to-back-to-back attempts, though, for Sarah Billiard, which you like to see. She never seems fatigued. She always is able to get a good hand on the ball. And Spencer. Cyprian. Cross court. A double touch called on Duke. That's an attacking error, so point to the Hoos. Again, we're all tied up here at 10 apiece in the 3rd set. Duke up 2-0, taking sets 1 and 2 over Virginia. Both teams hitting very efficiently still in this match. Cyprian with the block and then the touch. Except it wasn't underneath it, so point to Duke. So Virginia as a team right now hitting at 236 compared to Duke at 388. Novakovic with an attempt. Big block. Cyprian Novakovic together. Another block. Cyprian that time with Billiard. Then eventually it finds its way to the back of the court from Gracie Johnson. Gracie Johnson is an athlete who graduated high school a year early to go study in Rome last fall. Again, she's a first-year athlete for Duke. She was part of the first-team All-State team at Cox High School as a junior and state championship berth as a senior. So an outstanding athlete Gracie Johnson is, especially transitioning to the collegiate level. She's had no issue as that point goes to UVA. Kristen Leyland in now. Novakovic shut down. Combination of Fleming and Johnson for Duke. Good job by the Duke block pressing into the net on that one. Just sealing the gaps. Serve again into the net for Alex Springate. Seems like the net has a magnet on it in this match for both teams on these serves. What a heater there by Gracie Johnson. Gracie Johnson now with 9 kills. And the Cavaliers answer right back. Jelena Novakovic here. Serve outside the line. One more service error. Now 10 service errors for the Cavaliers. Duke not far behind with 8. Boylston, a short set to Matthews. Timing off just a hair between the two. So a timeout called. Chance to regroup again. So if you're just joining us, Duke taking the first 2 sets over Virginia. So up 2-0 here in the third set. Also with a 3-point lead at the moment, up 16-13 over the Cavaliers. Currently in a timeout. But leading the way for Virginia with 9 kills is Sarah Billiard. Behind her, Jelena Novakovic with 8. And for Duke, it's Peyton Schwantz with 11 kills, followed closely behind by Gracie Johnson with 10, and Addie Awokaniran also with 10. But what an outstanding game for Peyton Schwantz. 11 kills, leading the way for all athletes on the court. Only 2 errors, 15 attempts. She's hitting at 600. And that has been one of the biggest factors in the discrepancy between the two programs in the first 2 sets. That hitting percentage. Duke hit 500 in set 2 as a program. They've continued to hit efficiently here in the third, making very little mistakes. Again, the majority of the mistakes for both teams are coming at the line of service. As we wrap up that timeout and get set to restart. There's Lizzie Fleming, another freshman, leads her team in hitting percentage. Fleming is actually 9th in the ACC in blocks per set and 7th in the conference in hitting percentage. So talk about that for a freshman. Block for the Cavaliers is good. It's Matthews and Francis together. Excellent positioning there on the block. It's all about how you can approach the block and read the attacker on the other side. And, well, UVA had no problem in that last rally. That one stuffed into the block, falls on the side of the Cavaliers, so point Duke. Getting credit, Lily Cooper. Free ball over to Duke. Cooper again, off the hands of Alex Spencer. Cooper racking up the kills, getting the last 2 for the Blue Devils, now with 4 in the match. She has that height advantage, of course. 6 foot tall, 5 inches. And when you have that height, you're able to pick different angles as an attacker, which is very beneficial. As another kill for Duke off the hands of Adia Wokaniron again. Wokaniron now with 11. Also hitting extremely efficiently, over 400 for the Blue Devils. Duke up 19-14 over Virginia. Nice 5-point lead. Matthews slams one home. But Mackenzie Cole didn't want to let it die, so she kept it alive and sent it back over, but then Virginia ends up with the point. A nice rally, a good effort on both sides of the net. Jennifer Weinholt, quick reflexes off the incredible serve from Spencer. Weinholt finished the job. That one just tips over the top of the net, hitting the tape. Net joust, won by the Cavaliers. Virginia closing the gap, now just down by 2. And as expected, a timeout called. And how about that comeback, that belief and fight from the Cavaliers? That's what head coach Aaron Smith wanted to see from his athletes in this matchup against Duke. That fight, that belief, that toughness and the confidence. Those are the key words that he was looking for emotionally from his athletes in this matchup. And I think he's seeing it right here in the third set. So Cavaliers down just 2 points. Duke up 19-17 here in set 3. Again, Duke on top 2-0 coming into this third set. So they want to close it out, head back home. The Cavaliers are not going to go down without a big fight, as you just saw in that last rally. Fans still having a lot of fun here inside Memorial Gymnasium, cheering on the Cavaliers, the home team. And I like the energy coming out of that UVA huddle, out of that UVA timeout. I saw a lot of smiles on the faces of the athletes, high energy. And so Alex Spencer stays at the line. She has been serving really well the last couple of hits. Mackenzie Cole with the up. And Cooper slams it to the back row. Another kill for Lily Cooper. Cooper keeps climbing up in the stats, now 5 kills and 3 blocks. Service ace for Duke. For Peyton Schwantz. Her 10th of the season. And here's Schwantz into the net for the next one. Again, that net, I mean, there is something about it in this matchup between the two programs. Attracting the ball on these serves. Weinhold sends it out wide, out long. So Duke just a couple points away from stealing this match from Virginia here at home. So Duke looking for the sweep, the 3-set sweep. Mackenzie Cole gets set for the serve.